Happy Monday, friends. This week we're venturing out on a gentle hike through Yosemite Park's Tuolumne Meadow. Join me as we explore Soda Springs and the historic Parsons Memorial Lodge. There are a couple of ways to access the unique stops here, both of which are almost identical in distance. Now, the main Soda Springs Trailhead is located along Tioga Road, or you can also hike from the Lembert Dome picnic and parking area, located about a mile down the road, which is where I'm heading out from today. Located off Tioga Pass Road along the Tuolumne River, this is a great little hike and gentle enough for all ages and skill levels. Coming in at about a mile and a half with less than 50 feet in elevation change, just make sure you plan your trip here during the summer as the road closes due to snow, often from November to June. Coming from this direction offers you the unique opportunity to hike along the famous Pacific Crest Trail, even if it's only for about a mile. Now, the entire Pacific Crest Trail covers over 2,600 miles from Mexico to Canada, and I'm not really sure how much this counts, but it's fun to get even a tiny glimpse into this incredible trail system, which covers over 25 national forests and 7 national parks, including Yosemite. There are plenty of informational panels all along this trail, so make sure to stop and enjoy some of the fascinating history about Yosemite. Yosemite is rich with wildlife, and it's not surprising to find marmots in the high country. Look at this little guy. The original inhabitants of this area were along the local Native American tribes, but then in the 1800s, European settlers arrived, and while John Muir famously grazed sheep here in 1869, it's often John Lambert of Lembert Dome namesake who's recorded as Tuolumne Meadows' first official European settler. All along the way to Soda Springs and the historic lodge, there are plenty of beautiful sights and sounds to soak in, from the peaceful meadows to the meandering river. And please remember the leave no trace principles on your visit to help keep this wonderful place wild and pristine. Lembert filed claims to 160 acres here in 1885 under the Homestead Act, and he spent his summers in the area with a flock of goats, then traveled down to Yosemite Valley for the winter months. When you come to the fork in the road, the upper trail will take you to Soda Springs and then Parsons Memorial Lodge, while the lower trail actually follows the old Tioga Road, crosses the bridge, and you can loop these two together. Soda springs are natural mineral springs, but they're nothing like the natural features found in Lassen or Yellowstone. There's only a gentle bubbling up in a few spots, and you have to look closely to see it. Make sure to take time and look at the old Soda Spring cabin before heading on to Parsons Lodge. Well over a century ago, in 1889, Lembert built this structure directly over the largest soda spring, presumably to protect the water from being contaminated by the livestock. Now, John Lambert went on to become one of the early guides for tourists in the high country and gained a reputation as a naturalist here in Yosemite. Parsons Memorial Lodge was named for Edward Taylor Parsons, who served for a period as the Sierra Club director from 1905 until 1914. The club built this lodge in his honor, and in 1973 the NPS acquired the building from the Sierra Club, and it is still used as a high country nature center today. If you want to visit inside, make sure to check the NPS website for hours and seasonal openings. This lodge is one of the earliest rustic stone structures in the national park, designed to withstand the altitude and harsh winter conditions here. Now, for more historic Yosemite structures, you can visit the Yosemite History Center in the Wawona area too, and enjoy the massive fireplace centered on this building before you leave. Parsons Memorial Lodge was constructed in 1915 by the Sierra Club, and the pink feldspar and gray granite stone that constructed the lodge was gathered here on site, and other building materials and logs were packed in here by mules. Next to Parsons Lodge, you can find the McCauley Cabin, which belonged to the McCauley brothers who grazed cattle here before the Sierra Club bought this property. And then in the 1970s, the National Park Service purchased this from the Sierra Club, and it's part of our wonderful Yosemite National Park. The bridge just past Soda Springs and the Parsons Memorial Lodge was also built in 1915, and it's certainly worth a stroll here. Thank you so much for joining me this week in Yosemite. And for more information on this spot along Tioga Road, see my full blog post at flyingdawnmarie.com. Now there I also have over 24 unique Yosemite blog posts in my Yosemite section, so make sure to check that out. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe. And until next week, I hope you find adventure and encouragement wherever you go. Bye!